I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. A person who is allegedly our friend has asked me to turn their baby crib into a porch swing. You heard that right. Their baby crib into a porch swing. Apparently this is a thing, so here we are. If this was just a porch swing, it wouldn't be that hard of a project, but it's a baby crib. It's the baby crib their son slept in for years. It's got sentimental value. It's the whole point of the project. So if I screw this up, now to be fair, I've never screwed up, but if I did, I can't just go back to him and say, hey, I need another baby crib. But that's not all. The way the crib was designed was these slatted pieces are the front and back or the sides, depending on how you look at it. They're a lot longer than these shorter, more ornate pieces, which are the ends, but not for the swing. For the swing, we're gonna flip it. The thing that's keeping me up at night is joining these two pieces together into one back piece. Now I've seen some results online where people just sort of slap these together and screwed and nailed and they don't look so good. But that's not the way we do things here. I've thought about it, I've procrastinated, probably thought about it too much, definitely procrastinated too much, but I think I know what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna go with the width to this edge here, which means I need to cut this trim off to meet that edge. Since these two pieces are coming together and I want that seam to look as good as I can make it look, that cut needs to be extremely straight and square. I'm gonna cut this on the table saw, and because we've got an uneven surface that we're cutting here that won't reference up against the fence, I need to use a spacer to bring this out to right up against the fence. So I'm gonna temporarily attach a nice straight square piece of wood here. That will be our spacer, and we'll get a nice square cut. Okay, I've got all the pieces cut out for the new portion that I'm attaching to the parts of the crib. This is gonna get attached to the headboard I made earlier. And then I'm gonna take the side rails, cut those down, and so they fit right here, and those will be armrests, and they'll get attached to these 2x4s to give them some support. Now what I'll do is assemble this with just screws so I can take it all apart and paint all of the pieces. We need to seal up every side of every piece since this is gonna live outside. I could use waterproof glue for this, but I'm going to use a construction adhesive. All right, a couple of things I'm gonna have to add that I've just now realized once I start putting this together. So when you push down on the end, see how it sinks down? as opposed to where it's got plenty of support. So I just need to add a 2x4 support on each of the ends. That'll fix that. Secondly, I cut these 2x4s on each end a little bit too short. The original idea was that they extend 1/4 of an inch beyond the 4x4 so that they could meet this cross piece, which is inset from the columns about 1/4 of an inch. So now I don't have a flush fit between the 2x4s and this piece where I can screw to the end of them. So what I'm gonna do, instead of replacing all these 2x4s and doing that all over again, I think this way will be just as good, if not better. I'm gonna go ahead and attach this to the 4x4 at these 3 different spots, and then I'll come along with straps in between the supports and attach to this inset part. That'll give it more support because this headboard needs to be securely attached to the 4x4, and then those straps will just be covered up by the cushion. One thing I'm a little bit worried about with this build is that it'll be so imbalanced that when I install it, it's just gonna lean back and the front's gonna come up in the air. In this case, I've got a really heavy headboard that's gonna be mounted to the back here, and that's gonna make it a lot heavier. So I'm doing a couple things to hopefully counteract this. One is the ropes that I bought are adjustable, so we can raise this back up a little bit and hopefully level it out. And then I also bought 2 different 4x4s. The one in the back is pine or spruce. It's really light. The one in the front is Douglas fir, and it's heavy. So it's got quite a bit of weight in the front compared to the back right now. So I'm hoping that will help tip the scales and help it balance a little better. And if this doesn't work, you will see me burn this to the ground in their front yard. I'm not kidding, because that will be irritating. And they live in the country, so I can do that. So cutting these rails down has proven to be a little more involved than I thought it would be. So what I had to do was clean these mortises out. You saw me take this apart. I need to sand this smooth so it's flat. And then each one of these slats had a little tenon on the end, so they had cut away some wood to make that into a tenon that goes inside the mortise. The bottom inside of this is going to be completely covered by the end on this side. So I need to fill the mortise so I have something to screw into. I'll glue a piece of this into each mortise and then cut it with a flush trim saw, sand it up, and then we will pocket screw these into the bottom piece. Now, because this crib already had a stain and a polyurethane on it, I had to apply bonding primer to make sure that we're able to paint over that finish. I went ahead and sanded the surface quite a bit just to make sure that we got a good bond. The top coat is a high-end exterior paint, and I wanted to give them a good hard finish, but something that also could be easily touched up. So all they've got to do is take the mattress off, apply a coat of paint, and they're good for at least another year. This turned out to be a really fun project. I was hesitant at first about turning a baby crib into a porch swing, but it ended up being a nice challenge to turn a piece of furniture into something it's not meant to be. If you enjoyed this video, click the thumbs up, let me know you liked it, share it with everybody. I'm starting to get tired, so watch one of these videos next, and I'm gonna take a nap.